How's it going, guys? Eddie8 Anime here, back with another video, and today we're going to talk about Oppenheimer, the recently released banger from Universal Studios. And on that note, I will add, pay your actors, support the strike. But yeah, it's directed by Christopher Nolan, as you all know. Our main character played by Cillian Murphy, who I already knew because of Peaky Blinders and some other movies that he was in. It's so goddamn good of an actor. But yeah, I'm going to save that bit for later. We'll talk about the acting later. First, I did want to mention how much I love the concept of Barbenheimer. Little bit of a tangent, but it's still very relevant, I feel like. Barbie review soon, by the way. But I love it not only as a meme, you know, two very stylistically and even like color-wise, just very contrasting films. We got the pink and beautiful and girly Barbie, and then like the dark and gritty Oppenheimer. I love it. And just the concept of a double feature in real life is amazing. Because I haven't seen Barbie yet. Yeah, I didn't do Barbenheimer right. It's because I watched Oppenheimer on opening night. So when it's opening night, obviously you can only really watch one, because opening night, they normally start showing the movies at like 7. Obviously, if the movie ends at like 10 or 11. For me, I didn't get out of Oppenheimer until 11:30 because I think the movie started at 8. There was no chance to watch another movie. But me and my friend are going to watch, because she hasn't seen Barbie or Oppenheimer. So we're going to do the proper Barbenheimer. Get I'm gonna be wearing a suit during Barbie and then the pink shirt during Oppenheimer. To be lit. But just for cinema in general, especially in today's world of cinema where it's very oversaturated, which is no surprise. Like, this is not really a hot take. It's just what everybody knows. From what I hear, Barbie is pretty good. And I'll take my friend's word for it, even if I don't end up liking it. At least the fact that a lot of people seem to be enjoying it. And obviously Oppenheimer is pretty good from my personal perspective. We'll get more into why later. But the fact that we have two good films in cinema that people are wanting to watch both, and they are both actively doing well, trending, and for all the right reasons, it's just great for cinema, I feel like. I am scared that more companies are going to try and like do this, like recreate it purposefully. It might flop very hard, but I think it should just be a general thing that should happen in movies where there are good movies. But the remakes and uncreative products are just a concept for another day. I don't even want to talk about it right now. It's really late. I just want to talk about how much I like this movie. So let's talk about Oppenheimer. Very light spoilers, but nothing major. I don't think anyone's going to be watching this and be like, they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima? No! I didn't know that! But who knows? Let's get into it. Subscribe if you're new. First off, the actual filmmaking. Committing to the IMAX format at the lengths that they did is genuinely insane. I feel bad for those cameramen. Shit looked heavy, but not gonna lie, it was worth it. Every big hitter shot hit big. There are so many scenes that as a picture I could point out and just gush about for a minute, but I'm gonna mention my favorite, and it's... I don't want to say it's the one that no one would expect, because I feel like a lot of people would agree. But from the segue being the IMAX into this, I don't think this would be what people would expect me to talk about next. But it's actually the close-up scenes on Oppenheimer's face. All those really, you know, shots like this. You just really feel the weight on his shoulders as if it's a weight on your own shoulders. It's so dramatic, and I love it. I guess while I talk about the filming, I may as well bring up the direction choice to make the movie in half color, half black and white. I didn't really get what they were going for at the start of the movie. For the first little bit, I was like, oh, is this a flashback? Oh, wait, it's definitely not a flashback, because this scene's way before. I wonder why it's like this. Is it because it's the interrogation? Oh, wait, it's not an interrogation. It's a different thing. I don't know. Oh, and then by the end of the movie, I got it. I'm not sure if this is a spoiler, so skip ahead like 20 seconds. It's just talking about what the meaning of that is. So yeah, skip ahead like 20 seconds real quick if you haven't seen the movie. But when I realized that it was Strauss's versus Oppenheimer's point of view, Strauss being the black and white and Oppenheimer being the color because it's from his point of view, it's so good. I love conceptual shit like that, which is hard to do in documentary type films like this. Non-fiction works, you know, those are normally things where you want to tell the facts and not try and interject your own thing or spin to it, but I feel like they made it work. They definitely made it work. The movie was long as fuck, and you can feel that it's long as fuck. 3 hours, like, is always going to feel long as shit. Anything longer than that, especially. But I didn't care because it was a good movie. Like, it's the longest fuck to where you're like, hell yeah, I never want this movie to end type of thing. It's not the when is this shit gonna end type of thing. So when I say that, I don't mean it as a critique at all. If anything, it talks about how that's all that matters, just having a good story. Like, if anything, I think 3-hour movies should be more the norm. I guess the last really notable one that a lot of people would have seen would be the Batman, which I think is also another great one. So just granted the story is good, it's fine. I feel like a lot of movies suffer from not having enough time to flesh out characters. I feel like there's quite a few movies that would benefit from the 3 hours, because either they're like 90 minutes, which I see sometimes, which is crazy for a lot of movies, or they're, your standard 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And if you're at 2.5 hours, I feel like even that extra half hour could help a lot. Now, you get the problems of pacing and stuff, but if you got the chops to do it right, then do it right. And it's even more impressive here because it's not an action-packed movie. It's essentially a biopic. I don't know if that's the right terminology, because it's not like it's still a film, but I'm just spouting words. You know what I mean? Like, it's a real life thing, and it's not like it's gonna have action. Biggest action scene was the Trinity test, which I'm not gonna spoil how I reacted to that scene. I might talk about it a little bit at the end, but that scene was crazy. Yeah, there's lots of packed info, lots of dialogue, and a lot of just sitting still moments, which a long movie being worth watching whilst being that type of movie, I feel like is a privilege only given to us by certain filmmakers. And in my opinion, Christopher Nolan is one of them. So yeah, let's move on to the next topic. Like I said, this isn't really like a review. This is kind of just me talking, because I didn't really want to do the proper fucking... I don't really know many fucking film reviewers on YouTube. I was going to mention one. I was actually going to mention Anthony Fantano, but he's a music reviewer, and I was going to be like, I'm not going to be the Anthony Fantano of music or of movie reviews right now. But let's move on to acting. I'm going to mention 2 people and still give shout-outs to the rest. Cillian Murphy. Obviously, you have to talk about him. I don't want to say he carried the film, because everyone was fucking amazing. Nobody got carried in that movie, but holy shit. Actually, I can't even make the case that he carried the movie, because RDJ is right there, which is very surprising and not surprising. I say surprising. Okay, I say non-surprising because we know he's a good actor. It's been proven. I say surprising because this is like his first really serious role since Iron Man, if I'm not wrong, right? And if there was one in between it that I just didn't see, it's still very recent that he was playing a Marvel character for 10 plus years. You do not utilize your acting to the level that you do in this movie in a Marvel movie. Not to say that Marvel movies can't be amazing. There's great superhero movies, there's peak superhero movies, but on average, I'm just talking in a general sense, you're not going to get the level of performance in one of those movies. But like I said, not to say you can't. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 just came out. That was peak. I mentioned the Batman earlier. That was really good. Spider-Verse, amazing. Like, I feel like I'm just repeating what everyone else says, but the reason that they always say that is because those are good-ass movies. But yeah, he hasn't been able to utilize his acting in such a big project in a while. All the scenes at the end, not going to talk about specifics, but where he's, like, screaming, holy moly. Like, the tension with all the scenes with Oppenheimer, it just, oh my god. I can't wait to rewatch. It's so good. It's so, like, this isn't even in the script. I'm just thinking about it because I wrote down a few bullet points and I'm just like, oh my god, I haven't seen a movie that good in a while. Oh my god, bro, it's so good. Might be my favorite movie of the year. I went into it like Cross the Spider-Verse is right there, but this would be the one that would beat it. And I don't know, man. It's hard. It's hard. There's some other good ass movies that came out this year too. I'm not sure how many more we're gonna get because of the strike. But at the end of the day, that's their fault. Pay your fucking actors. Also, to add on to the acting thing, not only those two, but like a plethora of award-winning actors that would never get these type of roles, but got maybe a minute to 2 minute type of roles in this film were there. And that's amazing because it just goes to show when Christopher Nolan calls, you answer, no matter what the role, and I can't blame them. And that's just another random little tangent that I'm about to mention, but I really love director to actor relationships like that, or reputations like that, and I love hearing people talk about it. Like, I've been watching all these interviews and they all say the same thing, like, you don't deny or question a Christopher Nolan role. It happens. He chooses you. You don't say yes or no. The moment he chooses you, you're in there. It's over. But yeah, like I said, I can't blame him, and it's even more awesome for that because there's a lot of movies where the side characters are played by just small, like, lesser known actors, which is fine. Like, I get why it happens. I don't think it's a bad thing. You can get spotlights on lesser known actors for that, or just have great performances that you wouldn't expect. And to be honest, I feel like it'd be very exhausting seeing a bunch of fucking S tier or A-list celebrities or A-list actors, sorry, playing every character in a movie. That'd be really weird. But in this movie, because it's a lot of like older actors, it works. In especially for the characters that they portray, they match those characters. People, not characters. Like these are real people that they're playing. But it just makes them so impressive because no one goes below the threshold of quality in this movie. It's fucking crazy. I feel like I'm sucking the meat, like I'm sucking the cock of this movie so hard, but it's hard not to. Maybe it's because I'm talking slow. Normally I talk fast, but I'm trying to collect my thoughts because, like I said, I don't really have a script. I just have bullet points, but yeah. Ooh, I did want to shout out another performance. Albert Einstein. Probably my favorite character in this movie. He was played by Tom Conti, not sure how you say that, but it was played by him. And the talking scenes between him and our main star. I was going to say are the driving force of the themes, but I feel like I'm going to take that back and say it grabs the parts of the movie and pieces it together from the start to the very end, because it glues it all together and kind of shoves it in your face. Not necessarily the point of the atomic bomb or the Trinity Project, but of Oppenheimer's situation at the end of the movie. You guys got to remember, this isn't a atomic bomb movie. This isn't a Trinity Project movie. This isn't a Hiroshima movie. This isn't a hydrogen bomb movie. This is an Oppenheimer point of view, for the most part, movie. It's his story. We're following it from his eyes. That's why it's so important, especially the last scene they share together. I'm not going to spoil it, but the dialogue is so on point, especially considering the hidden dialogue. It's almost a MacGuffin, except it's not a physical item. I don't like to say it like that, but it's such a weird anomaly. I like it, though. I really like it. And with that, the movie does end on a really strong note. The last scene, I'm not going to say what it was, but like the very, very final scene made me shiver in my timbers, man. Another thing that I wrote down here was that, like, with the explosions themselves, forced perspective, I looked it up, that's what they try to do. And I think that's genius. I think I'd choose to do the same thing. I agree with Nolan here. You need it to be real. At least be a real explosion, not necessarily dropping a genuine nuclear bomb. I think that'd probably be stupid. But CGI, as amazing and impressive as it can be, the human eye can subconsciously notice the tiniest of improper details. That's why it's so easy to tell if CGI is good or not, even to people that don't know shit about CGI. Because, like, I was watching, I forgot the name, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm forgetting this. They do VFX Reacts. I can't believe I'm forgetting their name. Corridor Crew. I was watching their video a couple years ago, and they had a VFX worker on for Avengers. And they were talking about Thanos and how, like, when the skin stretches, all the little bits contract and all this and all the facial stuff and all this little stuff, and I was like, that's something I never would have thought about, but what if I had seen it in a movie and it didn't look good, I would definitely notice, because your brain's so used to seeing real people, real faces that move like this, that if it didn't move like that, you'd just be able to tell even on the smallest level. So with a bomb, maybe it wouldn't have been as crazy of a notice, but I don't know. I feel like it's still the same point stands to a lesser level. I don't remember what they used. I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. Oh my god! It's because I have my ad blocker on, man. I'm not gonna turn it off. I literally read this earlier, but like I said, I'm so tired. It's so late that I don't remember. Oh yeah, he calls them bigatures. I kind of find that term cute. Okay, aluminum powder, magnesium, along with gasoline and propane. I do remember that now, which very, simple combo for a big bang. And I don't know if they had any sort of visual, like extra small visual effects, like lesser used type of things, like to clean it up or whatever. I wouldn't have noticed if there was, but I don't think they did. But like, even for the actual gas and propane and shit, for an explosion, I feel like that's got to be pretty expensive, right? This movie overall is one where you get the bang for your buck. In the current landscape of $300 million budgets with no return whatsoever, this is refreshing. $100 million budget with as many big name actors as it has also. And it seems like they didn't waste the entire budget on that, because I think that's one of the reasons why budgets are so inflated, because actors get paid insane, or at least the big name ones. Obviously they're having a strike for the reason, because the lesser known ones are going to pay shit, but the big stars. But The rest of, like, it must have been used well. It definitely was used well. You know what else is used well? The soundtrack. It was good. Oh, I was gonna make a joke and be like, that was it, I'm moving on. But along with the soundtrack, the SFX, the stomping, or this sound, oh my Lord. So cool. So cool. Not gonna spoil when it's used in the film. So cool. And then the scene where that actually was happening, the stomping, and he was giving the speech, such a good scene. If you're getting this far in the video and you're like, where's the criticism? He's just saying a few points that he planned out and then a bunch of random tangents that he didn't think of. I'm gonna be honest, I have no criticisms. The only thing I can think of is that I honestly didn't know too much about Oppenheimer or the Trinity Project going into the movie. The most that I knew about this stuff was Hiroshima and the after effects there specifically, but outside of that I was very ignorant. So maybe if I knew more going in, my opinion on the historical pieces and what they included or didn't include probably would hold more weight. But this is my channel, so I'm still going to talk about this movie. LOL. Because, like, I have seen a couple people wish they included certain things in history, and I'm just like, bro, I'm going to be honest, I don't know. I'm sure you make a good point, but I don't know. Damn, there was a loud car outside. But, like, I thought it was a pretty perfect movie. I can't... Maybe I'll find something when I rewatch it, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I really liked it. Yeah, not a really great review. I get it. But I just didn't want to wait too long to talk about it. I'm leaving my house for a few days tomorrow, so I didn't want to wait another week when the movie's not even relevant anymore to talk about it. Not to say it won't be relevant like a mean way, but, like, you know, people will stop caring about things. They're caring about it again. Stop caring, you know, as movies come out. But yeah, love the movie. I'm gonna stop talking. It's definitely one of my favorites now. Definitely a banger. Rewatching it soon. Seeing Barbie soon. Hell yeah. Peace out. Peace.